Good YouTube. Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that instant playoff basketball analysis on Analysis Playground on YouTube exclusively on there forever. And we're going to talk about how those Spurs get to the Western Conference Finals already. Their first trip to the playoffs with Wimby ends them in the conference final as they blew the doors out and off of the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, 139 to 109. Spurs win this series 4-2. The Sumu came back and Anthony Edwards came back earlier than what we thought. They gave it what they had, but it wasn't enough to beat this Spurs team, who's been giving everybody trouble with that 62 win regular season record. 36 to 27 in the first quarter for the Spurs. They won that one. 38 to 34 in the second quarter, also for the Spurs to win that one. So they went into half feeling pretty confident that they can eliminate and finish off the Wolves in this game, and they did with a 36 to 23 third quarter and a 29 to 25 fourth quarter. They win every single quarter to beat the Timberwolves by 20. Not much to really say about this game besides Timberwolves was overmatched. Let's talk more about the Spurs. Everybody in their starting lineup scored in double figures, and that was a big problem because the Timberwolves couldn't keep up with them offensively, and then they had trouble, especially in that second half, scoring the ball on the Spurs defense. But the Spurs, Julian Champagnie, 26 minutes. He had 18 points. He went 5 of 10 from the field, mainly because he went 4 of 9 from three, which is good. And it's something you have to really like, something you have to enjoy from him. You know he can get open. You know he's always a threat. If you don't pay attention to him, he letting that thing fly. He went 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers, and 2 steals. He's a stouty defender. He had 3 personal fouls and was a plus 35 and plus minus. Victor Wembanyama didn't need 20 again. He only gave him 19 in 27 minutes. He went 6 of 11 from the field. He did a good job of getting to the rim and finishing and just using that body that's already incredibly tough to stop or even control or even try to stay in front of sometimes. But he also went 7 of 9 from the free throw line for that same very reason. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and 3 blocks. And he didn't lead the team in blocks this game, but he was second. He had 1 offensive rebound, 3 personal fouls, and was a plus 25 and plus minus. This team just fits so well around Wemby with everybody being so fast and so quick with their mobility and their high IQ of how to defend and send people near Wemby or close enough so where he can make a play on the ball defensively, whether that's stripping or blocking. And then they also rebound well and communicate well as well. And it just was too much for the Timberwolves to handle. De'Aaron Fox, when he's making his jump shot, it just basically impossible to stop him or guard him. But they left him open a lot, and he went 3 of 3 from 3, took his time, and made sure he was shooting it the right way. That's how much space he had and room he had to do it. He went 8 of 10 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, and he also had 9 assists. You know, you give him the ball, and he's going to try to find a way to run that play, run that offense through himself or just making the right decision. He did it so well that he only had 1 turnover. He also had 2 blocks. I always had love and respect for Fox as a player, as a defender, and as a scorer, and as a playmaker. And he has been ideal for this Spurs team on both ends. And this was just another game proving that. He had 1 personal foul and was a plus 26 and plus minus. Devin Vassell, 27 minutes. He had 11. He's always trying to find a way to be that guy that you didn't want to be open or leave open. But if you do, he's going to hurt you a little bit for doing that. He went 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. He had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a turnover. He also had 1 block. You know, if he can get the ball, he's not afraid to pass it to another guy instead of just jacking up his shot every single chance that he can. And you can say the same thing about Champagnie. That's why they perfect fits on both ends of the basketball court for the Spurs. and it just provides so much space and so much room for people like Castle and Fox, and especially Wemby when he wants to be near the basket or attack it. He had three personal fouls and was a plus 14 and plus minus. Vassell did. And then Stephon Castle, 30 minutes, he led the team in scoring with 32 points. But he did it so efficiently. He only took 16 shots, which was still the most on the team. But that's not that many for a person to get 30, mainly because he went 11 to 16 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Just being able to score in a variety of ways was something that we questioned of Stephon Castle. Could he shoot? Can he make the open shots? Can he be a better decision maker? And he has evolved enough to where he's really helping to flow his offense, even if he has to get it on his own sometimes or even set up his teammates. He has just a real good understanding of how to play the game ever since he made it to the NBA. I think he took another step up, especially this season and even in the postseason with his offensive play. And he also had 11 rebounds, which made him the only player on the team to have a double-double. And it's hard to grab 11 boards, but he was able to do it as a guard, and he made it look very easy, and he just kept always making sure that was a goal of his basically every possession, whether that was offensive or defensive rebounding. 2 turnovers, 3 offensive boards out of the 11, 2 personal fouls, and a plus 28 and plus minus. Harrison Barnes played 7 minutes. He went 1 of 3 from 3. So he only finished with 3 points. He did have 4 boards, 2 assists, no turnovers, 3 offensive rebounds, which is basically all of them. He had no personal fouls and was a plus 7 and plus minus. He's still athletic. He's still physical. And he still understands how to play the game the right way and knows how to impact the game when he's out there. Kelly Olynyk also went 1 of 2 from 3, but 1 of 4 from the field for 3 points, 2. He also had 4 rebounds, but he had 1 assist, 1 turnover, no personal foul, was a minus 3 and plus minus. We know that he's a quality big that you can give a small incremental minutes to, and he can space and score and also set screens and pass. Lindy Waters missed his 3, but he finished 1 of 3 from the field, so he had 2 points. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, no turnovers. His rebound was offensive. He had no personal foul and was a minus 3 and plus minus. Keldon Johnson, 10 minutes. He went 0-2 from the field, missed basically every shot and didn't take much anyway, so it didn't hurt that bad. He had 2 assists though, no turnovers and a personal foul. It was a minus 8 and plus minus. Carter Bryant, 13 minutes. He had 3 points. He went 1 of 2 from the free throw line and made his only 2-pointer, which was a shot near the rim. And then he missed only 3, but he did have 6 boards, which was really good. 1 assist, no turnovers, 1 offensive rebound, no personal foul, was a plus 16 and plus minus. Bismack Biyombo played 7 minutes. He made a shot, so he finished with 2 points. He also missed 1. He had 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, and was a minus 5 and plus minus. Mason Plumlee, 5 minutes. He scored a dunk and then missed his other shot, so he went 1 of 2 from the field for 2 points. He had 2 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, and was a minus 3 and plus minus. And then Luke Cornett, big net, 14 minutes, 6 points. He really anchored that defense and played great in the paint. And then he went 2 of 2 from the free throw line as well. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. He had the most blocks on the team with 4. And I think Wemby did a really good job of patrolling the paint and using that length. But you can say the same thing about Luke Cornett. They just do a really good job of moving their feet and making sure they get exactly where they need to balance-wise to get a shot on the ball, not just on the defender. And he did have 4 personal fouls, but it still was a good job of trying to get there and make things as tough as he could and being physical. He also had 2 offensive rebounds out of the 6 and was a plus 8 and plus minus. Jordan McLaughlin, 8 minutes. He made his only shot. He also had a rebound and an assist. No turnovers, no personal fouls, and was a minus 3 and plus minus. And then Dylan Harper played 26 minutes. That was the most off the bench. And he gave him the most points with 15. And then he went 6 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Players in the NBA are just having trouble staying in front of him. They're having trouble guarding him. He's basically breaking down the defense, getting exactly where he wants every time. He's getting more confident in his perimeter shot, and he's also using that speed, strength, and quickness to set up teammates whenever he sees guys that's in good positions. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers, 1 block, 1 offensive rebound, 2 personal fouls, and a plus 16 and plus minus. And then you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Julius Randle, 24 minutes. He had 3 points. He went 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 2 from three, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Basically, didn't give you anything on the offensive end in this game, and that was the worst time to do it, as it was an elimination game at home, and that's the type of performance you would dread and have nightmares about having, because they ain't gonna let it down, and I don't really blame them for doing that. But 7 boards, 1 assist, no turnovers, 2 offensive rebounds, 3 personal fouls, a minus 34 and plus minus for him. Just a forgettable game. Jaden McDaniels, 23 minutes. He ended up shooting some wide open threes and was able to attack the basket a couple times, but a bad night for him as well. He shot 4 of 13 from the field and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Didn't give you much on the offensive end. He had 1 rebound and 3 assists, no turnovers and a block, 1 offensive board, 5 personal fouls, and a minus 21 and plus minus. Rudy Gobert, 22 minutes. He went 0 of 4 from the field, missed every single shot, even if it was around the basket, showing how hard it could be to score on the Spurs, even in the interior. And then on top of that, he only got 3 rebounds because the Spurs made basically everything. And then he had 1 offensive board out of the 3, no turnover. He got no steals, no blocks. The opportunities just wasn't there enough, and when they were, he ended up getting 3 personal fouls anyway. He was a minus 10 and plus minus. Desumu, 23 minutes. He had 10 points. He went 4 of 8 from the field. He missed his only 3. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 1 rebound and 9 assists. The 9 assists was the most on the team, and he showed you I can score a little bit, I can attack off the dribble a little bit, I can shoot a little bit, I can set guys up. This was a game where he wanted more points, though, with the assists and a little bit more defense, but the Spurs wasn't really giving them too many opportunities to get the steals and blocks in this one. But he also finished with 3 personal fouls and was a minus 28 and plus minus. And then Anthony Edwards led him in scoring. No surprise there. He played 36 minutes. It seemed like he was ready. The problem was he couldn't really make any shots, and the shots he was taking was very difficult. And he went 9 of 26 from the field. Nobody else was trying to shoot. Nobody else could really score. So in the starting lineup, so he took it upon himself to take as many shots as he could to get going, to try to find a way to cut that lead a little bit more. And then it just got out of control, and the Spurs powered up on them offensively and made it tough defensively. And then it just got out of control when it came to the lead in this game, and it just kept going up and up and up for the Spurs. 2 of 7 from 3 for Anthony Edwards, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line didn't help either. He did have 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers. He also had 3 steals, 1 offensive rebound, 4 personal fouls, and a minus 31 and plus minus. You know, he tried to give up the ball early. They did a lot of trapping and a lot of double teaming on him. And he was just letting his teammates see what they can do after that. Sometimes it worked, most times it didn't. Kyle Anderson, 8 minutes, he scored because he had shot 1 of 3 from the field for 2 points. He had 3 assists, no turnovers, and no personal fouls. It was a plus 3 and plus minus. Julian Phillips played 8 minutes. He ended up making 1 shot and missed his other. So he finished 1 of 2 from the field because it was all threes. So that's how he got his 3 points, because he made 1. He had 1 assist, 1 turnover, and a steal. No personal fouls in the plus 3 and plus minus. Behringer, 8 minutes. He had 4 points and went 2 of 3 from the field. 2 rebounds is what he got, along with 1 steal and a block. No turnovers. 1 offensive board, no personal. Was a plus 3 and plus minus. Nas Reed played the most minutes off the bench. He had 32. Gave you 18 though, and he did it efficiently. Went 7 of 13 from the field. Was able to score near the basket. Was able to go 3 of 7 from 3. They needed that too. He went and made a free throw and had 7 boards, and that was the most off the bench. He also had 1 assist, no turnovers, and a 0 in personal fouls. It was a minus 15 and plus minus. Just a really, really good aggressive game from him. He knew he had to come in and score as much as he could and help the team out in many ways that he could. And that's the right approach, but it still wasn't enough. And he also was tied for the most rebounds in the game with Julius Randle. Mike Conley came in and played 19 minutes, gave him 6. Went 2 or 3 from the 3-point line. He can still do that and run the offense really well when he can be out there. He had 4 assists, no turnovers, and 3 steals. He also had no personal fouls and was a minus 5. And plus minus, Jalen Clark played 8 minutes. He had 2 points. He went 0 2 from the field. He missed his only 3. And then he went 2 2 from the free throw line, so he still finished with 2 points for that reason. He had 3 rebounds, no turnovers, no personal fouls, and was a plus 3 and plus minus. And Terrence Shannon Jr., 22 minutes. He scored 21 points, though. He was able to attack the basket. He was able to find success efficiency-wise, too. He even went 1 3 from the 3-point line and 4 4 from the free throw line. He also had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. His offensive rebound was only 1 out of the 2. He had 3 personal fouls and was a minus 21 and plus minus. And then Bones Highland, he couldn't really make a shot. He went 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. He tried, but gave you only 3 points in 8 minutes. He had 1 rebound, no turnovers, 1 personal foul. His only rebound was offensive and was a plus 3 and plus minus. The Timberwolves did take a significantly more field goals, 106 field goals to the 88 of the Spurs. 38% from the field for them, though. 56% for the Spurs. 34 threes taken by the Timberwolves. They made 35% of them. While the Spurs took 4 more, which was 38. They made 47 of them percentage-wise. And then 21 free throws from the Timberwolves. They made 81% of them. They took 6 less because the Spurs took 27. And on top of that, they made 85% of theirs. The biggest problem they had was the 60 rebounds from the Spurs, while they only was able to get 29 of them. And that was mainly because although the Timberwolves shot a lot of shots, they missed more, way more than the Spurs did. And the Spurs was able to close out the possessions with the rebounds, and that's something you have to do if you want to win, especially if you want to win big. 34 assists for the Spurs, 25 for the Timberwolves, 15 turnovers for the Spurs, only 5 for the Timberwolves. That's one thing you have to be happy about as a Timberwolves fan, is that y'all didn't make too many mistakes. But it ended up not mattering anyway because they missed so many shots, especially from the field, which is 2-pointers, and sometimes even 3s. And then 9 steals for the Timberwolves, 2 for the Spurs, 2 blocks for the Timberwolves, 13 for the Spurs, and then 9 offensive rebounds for the Timberwolves, 12 for the Spurs, and then 48 defensive rebounds for the Spurs, 20 for the Timberwolves, and that was just ridiculous to see that type of difference. And then 22 personal fouls for the Timberwolves, only 21 for the Spurs. But like I said, the Spurs did shoot more free throws by 6. Good game, quality game, competitive game to a certain extent. And then the game just got away from the Timberwolves again. They just couldn't hang with them. They just couldn't score enough. They couldn't make enough shots. They couldn't defend that well against really anybody that the Spurs threw out there, even the bench. And it was just a beatdown. It was just a butt whooping. It was just a bad game for the Timberwolves fans to see. And it'll just show you how great and how well coached and well prepared and how poised this Spurs team is. They're a tough team, and they have been that way all season, and they continued it into the postseason. And now we get to see the matchup everybody really want to see, which is Spurs Thunder. So I got that coming up. It's a preview right after this video, so make sure you subscribe, leave comments of how you feel about what I had to say in this game. Like too if you enjoyed it. Obviously, hit the notification bell to get the analysis that comes out in the future on this channel, so you can be the first to get it when it's done and turned in and ready for y'all to watch. Other than that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Thanks for staying loyal. Thanks for being subscribers and supporters of this channel and of me. Other than that, I'm gone for now.